Hello and welcome to the 26-week bump date. Those of you who follow on Instagram will have seen that we've well and truly popped this week. Here we are at 26 weeks or 6.5 months. Here we go. And as you can see, we've got much bumpier. Today officially marks the end of the second trimester. So the third trimester is tomorrow, that will be 27 weeks, and this feels hugely monumental for me. So even though this means we're 2/3 of the way through the pregnancy, it feels more like we're 5/6 of the way through the whole journey. I met Laura and Al back in January this year. I must have put my application in around September 2019. So I've come a really long way, even though I've only just started recording and posting videos for YouTube. The journey is definitely coming to an end. I know we've still got many weeks left and there'll be plenty more bump updates. I'm sure I'll probably be out here in the near future. But I've already started thinking about postnatal stuff and birth stuff, a portable douche, disposable underwear, you know, essentials. Just in case, because the baby is viable, he could really come at any time. Unlikely, hopefully, fingers crossed. But it's coming to that time I'm starting to think about putting a hospital bag together and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so with the bump, my uterus has finally evened itself out, which is very nice because that wonky old couple of weeks was a bit strange. Every time I was having a Braxton Hick, it was, yeah, really odd looking. You can have a look in my 25-week bump date. So my uterus is like here now, so it's much higher up, which I think explains why I'm looking so much bumpier. And when I do have a Braxton Hick, I can really feel it up here. I can also feel the baby kicking on both sides at the same time. So I'm assuming he's laying across now. So he must be like kicking me with his hands and legs at the same time. And there's absolutely no baby like down here. That's all completely squishy. And I do feel like I've got a little bit more like love handly, a bit more squishy around here. So I don't know if that's where it's higher and it's putting more weight back here or something, I don't know. But there have been quite a lot of changes just over the last week. Baby is now 760 grams, so that's an extra 100 grams from last week. So he really is putting on weight quickly at this point. He's fattening right up. He is 35 centimetres long, head to toe, 14 inches for you oldies or Americans. So he's not getting much longer at this point, but he is just getting fatter. And as I was saying, the kicks have definitely changed. So I feel it on both sides of my belly at the same time now. I was sat last night with like my legs open, like in a sort of almost squat. And he actually kicked me in the ribs. So he fully got me behind the ribs. It kind of made me jump actually. It's a really strange feeling. And the sequence, like the pattern of kicks has changed. Where before it'd kind of be like a blop, 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 blop. Now it's more like a blop, 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 blop. If that makes sense. So it's like he's trying to learn how to swim in there rather than just punching and kicking me. In terms of my body, I've tried to start exercising again because I have been really naughty and really lazy because growing a human can be really hard work. I've been experiencing quite extreme tiredness, exhaustion. I just haven't mustered up the energy to leave the flat most days. So every day this week I've managed to do some exercise, unintentionally to begin with. I went to the retail park just to return something and the traffic was literally standstill. So I dumped my car, walked 25 minutes, come home, cycled back there the next day. the following day I went for a walk, I went for another walk, so I've really built it up this week. I feel like hopefully I'm going to blossom into the third trimester and carrying all the big weight of bump won't get in my way. Exercise has been proven to really help with labour, so I'm hoping even just little bits here and there make a difference. Even if I can only do a 2-kilometre walk and it is at a really slow pace, the way I see it, it's better than nothing, and hopefully I can build that up over the next 13 weeks and be marginally fitter than where I am now. I've had to slow down tons because a couple of times I've tried to walk normal Kim pace, which is fairly fast, you know, I don't dither, I don't dawdle, but I'd find after just a couple of minutes it'd really start to make my belly hurt. You can't really engage your abs at all at this point. My lower back would hurt, my hips, so I really had to like bring myself down and really properly slow myself down. In terms of my abs, actually, it's quite interesting. Where last week I was doing that breathing exercise, that one, and I could look not so pregnant. This is my not so pregnant now, and that's the more pregnant. There's no hiding this little fella anymore. When I went cycling, I found it really interesting how risk averse I've become. Obviously I never would have thought twice about jumping on my bike in the past, but there's definitely something innate going on telling me to protect this little human, because I was a little bit paranoid at first. I had my keys in my pocket and I was like, oh, what if I fall off? What if the keys stab me in the tummy? And you know, it could be really bad. And I was like, don't be silly, that's not gonna happen. When my mum was, I think she was 7.5 months pregnant, she slipped on one step, and where she fell backwards and landed, she broke her wrist because of obviously all the extra weight and everything, and she landed on just one wrist. And the doctors at the time said that because she was so pregnant, that's why she fell backwards. Instinctively, to slip on a step, you should go forwards and break your fall with both hands. But naturally, to protect the baby, she fell backwards instead, and that's why she had such a severe fracture. So that's what I was telling myself as I was cycling. I was like, no, your body knows what it's doing. It will protect this baby. You'll fall backwards, you'll fall sideways, you'll be okay. One of the walks that I did was super muddy, it was disgusting, and I lost my footing a couple of times. Previously, wouldn't have bothered me in the slightest. You know, if you go over in a pile of mud, all right, you get filthy, but it's not the end of the world. But there's definitely something going on that's, I don't know, like cavewoman instincts kicking in, like, got to be careful, got to protect the little human. And it's just made me so much more cautious. Like, in the past, I've considered bungee jumping and never skydiving. Skydiving's always scared me, but I've considered doing like kind of reckless things. Obviously, I wouldn't while I'm pregnant, but I've watched a couple of videos of them and they get my heart going now. I'm wondering if this is something that's going to continue after pregnancy or if I'll go back to my old self. It's really strange how much it's changing my psyche, I suppose. The only thing that I ever chickened out of in the past was I was in Florida in these beautiful springs, like a natural, fast flowing, beautiful clear water spring. And there was a rope swing that went above it. And I was just about to go on it and I was like, the healthcare in America really isn't great. If I break something, it's gonna cost thousands. So that's the only time I've ever not done something like that. Normally I would just go for it and not really think twice about it. But I do think pregnancy is going to have changed that in me, and those adrenaline rushes and stuff, I might not be such a thrill seeker. I'm just going to talk about my boobs again. Sorry, I know they keep coming up a lot, but they're changing a lot. I've had some like veiny, purpley stretch marks come up underneath. I was going to put a picture up, but I thought better of it. You can Google it, you know what purple stretch marks look like. And, you know, they're surprisingly noticeable, which at first I was kind of confused because you don't really see your own underboob that often, so I don't actually know when they came up. But as I've said before, you know, I have so much body confidence that it really doesn't bother me in the slightest. It's all part and parcel of growing a little human, and at the end of the day, the way I see it is that it's just proof that my boobs are getting so much bigger. Also, I've had a bit of spontaneous colostrum leakage. So I was sat on my bed one morning and, you know, my arm just like brushed my boob or whatever, and I was like, that feels damp. And yeah, there were like 3 little spots of milk. I'll pop a picture up here actually. There were 3 little spots of milk, and I was like, huh, cool. Straight on Google again, you know, like spontaneous leakage at 26 weeks, perfectly normal. Doesn't happen to some women, does to others. Every pregnancy is completely different, but I'm really hoping this is a good sign for being able to express and provide colostrum for the baby, for the parents, once it's born. Last of all, probably my nails. Let me see if I can get it to focus. They've grown out really fast. I only had these done last week. You can't actually really tell, but I can tell. And yeah, they've never grown this quickly. Like, they've always grown quite fast, but it's the same hormones and stuff that's responsible for the nice hair, so I'm not moaning. And that's about all for this week. So thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please do hit subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.
Oh, hi. Amber came to say hi. Yeah, no, love me.
And the old elf hat is just a little bit of Christmas spirit. Look, say hi to everyone. They love you. No, she's so scary. Little bit of Christmas spirit, even with the horrible Tier 4 news that we've recently received. Christmas is not cancelled. Anyone who thinks that Amber's a really nice cat, just want to... So that one's not too bad, it's bleeding a little bit. But this, look at that. She's pure evil, honestly. Mean cat. Let's try one more time. No, don't run away. Don't run away. Look. Ah, nice cat. She's so not a nice cat. Look at the camera. Say hi. Hi YouTube, I'm a nice cat who likes to scratch my owner. Yeah, I'm going to stop doing that now.